Hello everybody, it's been quite a while since I did the sort of going through the Dustin Mcphetridge Chatlog. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I think I was just doing other videos and it got sidetracked a little bit. But you'll have to forgive the voice. Got a bit of a cold at the minute. But sometimes you like a walk on the dark side a little bit, don't you? So rather than sometimes watching a horror film or reading something scary, I'll go through one of these monstrosities. So anyway, quick recap. We're more than more than halfway into the chat. There's been some pretty graphic things going on. Dustin's confessed his love. And asked her to do some rather bizarre things. It's been quite interesting, but we kind of started a new day. So let's dive right in, shall we? How my Nancy, which I don't know how he's managed to type that instead of baby. It's like, right, well I suppose N is next to B. And then he's misspelt it again. I mean, I'm not being funny with regard to his disability, but one would assume typing isn't easy for him because he hasn't got full use of one of his hands, has he? So, right, I can't type for shit. Blah, 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 blah. I missed you. I love my fiance. Okay, I love you too. What you do today? Nothing, excuse me. Sorry about the sniffling and that, guys. It's, just had some lemon and honey with warm water, which usually does the trick. But anyway, woke up to a flat tire. Yet I ain't slept since 23 hours ago. It doesn't make any sense. What's your parents do for jobs? He's not very good with his grammar, is he? Mum's a nurse. Harry takes x-rays of people. Is that a radiographer? Anyway. What's Harry do? What's your dad do? Sells houses. Okay. Making sure no one was a cop or anything. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Wasn't it like... If I remember correctly, when he previously got into bother, wasn't the family member of one of the girls he was talking to a cop or something? I'm sure that happened. So I mean, he knows he's clever enough to know he's walking a dangerous line. Which is why during the footage he did kind of look distraught when he got caught, didn't he? You see, it's a funny thing with Dustin, right? Being a human, right? Well, being a human, of course. But what I mean is, as human beings, when we see somebody like Dustin, let's just say you didn't know he was one of these people that these child. I have to be careful in the language I use these days, but it's just say he wasn't someone who got involved in this type of situation and someone with these ridiculous perversions, and you just saw him, it would immediately, if you was anything close to being a decent person, it would immediately invoke pity, wouldn't it? Because he suffers every day in his life because of his condition. He's been dealt an unfortunate hand. His disability will affect every minute of every day of his life. The way he appears to other people, which is massive in the world. Immediately, the human condition, mostly, people judge you immediately on your appearance. And it affects his mobility, it affects everything, it affects the kind of jobs he can do. So it's a big deal. So when you see somebody with that condition, you immediately feel sorry for him. And even when I saw him on the show, I was like, oh God. That's what takes over. And then But what he does is he hides behind that condition to justify doing this type of thing, and that came to the front in the police interrogation, which I went through. So, in some ways, it makes him, from one perspective, it makes him kind of worse, because it's kind of an insult to people that have that condition, that have not turned into these people, you know. Anyway, so don't want to get in trouble, me either, because I can't marry you if I'm in jail. I don't know whether it's like a manipulation tactic on his behalf, because obviously if you get a young girl who's quite susceptible to manipulation and is not very clued up and just likes the idea of an older guy, saying that you're going to marry them, it's just the perfect way to draw them in. Is this guy's going to marry me? You know what I mean? So, but with Lorne, he genuinely wanted to. You know, this Kayla character, he wanted to. Couldn't do one video without mentioning him, could I? I'd marry you though, and why is that? Because you're the best. I'm so lucky to have a sweet, beautiful lady as my fiance. Well, she's not too lucky. If she was real, is she, Dustin? Let's be honest. But when are we getting married? When you want to. As soon as possible. Yeah, the best. Lol. French kisses you. Ooh. I wonder where this is going to go. Can't wait to kiss you all over. Me either. Think it'd be so awesome. You there? 36 minutes, so there was a bit of a gap, wasn't there? And Dustin's not replied. I dread to think what he's doing. Yeah, I'd love to. And lick your pussy. Ugh. I didn't think we'd get too far without mentioning this kind of thing. Not good when you're feeling a bit sick. You would if you want me to. Yeah, that'd be cool. Have you ever been licked there? No, heard it's cool though. From who? My friend's sister. Well, when we meet, as soon as I shave, you'll find out. Do you like all this sex talk? Yeah, it's fun because you don't think I'm a baby. Either. Yeah, I want to hear you talk dirty. Yeah, it turns me on. And, you know, let's not. In normal circumstances, there's certainly nothing wrong with two consenting adults want to talk about things like this, whatever. But in this situation, it's just terrible getting her to say all these things. I want to make love to you. I want more details. Don't know any. Tell me you want my cock. I'm not even saying that. Just read it yourselves. Ooh, you really want me to say that? Yeah, I want you to be dirty. Don't know how. Say what I told you to say. Want my... like that? I hope you don't have a cock. No, I'm a girl. Excuse me. What kind of clothes you wear to school? Jeans and shirt. Cool. Do you have any dresses? Yeah, some. Will you wear one for me? See, the decoy doesn't want to... The decoy doesn't want to get drawn into this too much. All this, like, you know, telling him disgusting things, because I think there's a couple of reasons. One being the decoy is going to be sick to her stomach, and she won't even want to type that stuff. It's alright saying things like I love you and I can't wait, that'd be so cool, and yeah, you know, all that kind of stuff. But to sort of repeat and tell him what he wants to hear, it's going to be difficult for the decoy to do. And it also harms the defence a little bit. The prosecution. Because he will say, I mean, I don't think it'd really make much difference, or at least it shouldn't do. But they'd have a defence. He'd have a bit of a defence, wouldn't he? And say, well, hang on a minute. She was leading me on. She was provoking me. You know, she initiated it. So that would be, I think that's like part of the training, and saying let them incriminate themselves. Don't come out with anything. Just respond to what they're saying, and then it just makes it a hell of a lot easier to get a prosecution. Will you go without your panties? You want me to? Yeah, for real. You see all that kind of stuff, for real. You know, they always respond with the same. When they say something quite provocative, like, well, you know, don't dress a certain way, or, you know, I want to touch that, or whatever. It's like, for reals? Really? You know, like they're acting surprised, like you're just playing the part of a child, a susceptible child of that age, aren't they? Want to make you happy? Oh, that would make you happy. Being your girlfriend and seeing you. I love you too. You make me so happy. Because I want you to start being dirty. No, Mum and Harry are here. Stop putting them on us tomorrow. So he's getting her to behave in a certain way, isn't he now? We see this quite a lot. Whether it's all just for his own, you know, just the thought of it does make him excited. I think a part of it, whether they realise it or not, with people like Dustin, is if he can start influencing her life in any way, it gives him a foothold he's kind of got her then, hasn't he? You know what I mean? And we see it a lot, don't we, with these people, and that's how they operate. Manipulation, control, it's key to this kind of thing. That's what these people want. That's what these people get out of it. They want to feel... It's kind of the most disturbing aspects of human nature, and it's something that I don't quite grasp, because I don't think... It's like I don't understand the need to control and manipulate someone. It's like I've been in relationships when the girls try to control and manipulate me, and I just bin them off immediately. I don't care if they are attractive or whatever, but as soon as manipulation and control comes into it, there'll always be very subtle elements, but any major controlling and manipulation, get out of it, you know. It's just not worth it, because if that happens, I'm going off on one here, but for people like Dustin especially, control and manipulation is part of the reason, I believe, why there is this attraction to children. Because if you listen to what I did, if you listen to the last video I did about Mr. R, the school teacher, and how he was interviewed by the police and he used the word violate. It's not like I wanted to violate. That's exactly what he wanted to do. And it's the ultimate... It's... To put yourself in a position of sexual domination on what are classed as children, it's the ultimate power and control, isn't it? You know, you're exerting your power over someone much younger who can't do anything about it, and you're getting this gratification, and it's fulfilling a deep-seated need and a deep-seated sense of lack and fear, I think, because control over others is weakness disguised as strength. If you have true wisdom and true integrity and you're grounded deep within your own being, you would have no need to control or manipulate anybody ever. Why would you need to do that? It's pathetic. And you see it in all walks of life, from organisations to social groups, and this is an extreme version of it, because you've got I mean, we're looking at the dregs of society in a lot of these cases, not in all of them, and that's one of the things about TCAP, isn't it? People from all walks of life, like Chris says, when some of the guys go, I'm a respectable guy, and he says, well, I see a lot of respectable guys in here. But, to want that control and manipulation over another human, like these guys do, I don't think it's something I'll ever truly be able to get my head around. I understand why some of these people might be attracted to younger girls, and that's not to imply that I am, but what I mean is, some of the younger girls may appear to be adults. Like, you see it more and more now as girls are getting more mature. You can get girls like 13, 14 and they appear 18 and they go out and they don't get asked for ID and stuff like that. So I understand that if someone appears to be, an adult. But I think, because this attraction to children, it's not totally fully understood, but it's something that's been around for thousands of years. And that's one of the things that interests me so much. Is it why do people get involved in it? Why do people who seem to have it all? And it just shows how incredibly complex human life is, doesn't it? I think about the research doctor. What was he getting out of it? And of course, there's a huge difference. The ultimate power and control in the sexual sort of realm is, I hate to say this word, is rape. Now, this is classed as rape. I don't want to get... I've had arguments with people, not arguments, but discussions online about this, when I say that, obviously this is classed as statutory rape, but I think there's a difference between, forcing someone to do something physically. That adds another element onto it, in my view. That's the worst thing I think a human can do. Anyway, I don't want to stir up. I opened a can of worms with this a while ago. You see, here we go again. Smack your ass. That would hurt though. I wouldn't do it hard. I'll just bend you over my knee and paddle you when you're bad though. Now, that's kind of quite telling, isn't it? Because what does that say about Dustin's psyche? We could go really deep into this and really sort of go into why he wants to do that to her. The spanking thing is obviously quite common. It's, the discipline aspect of it. It's something that is quite prominent in a lot of people's sex lives, which obviously is fine. But when you're talking about a child, what does that say about Dustin? What does that mean? I won't do it hard. I just bend you over. So he actually wants. So in his mind, it still sees her as a child that he wants to discipline when you're bad. So he doesn't see her as an equal. Lorne kind of did, in a way. It's one element of the Olilonography that I found fascinating, is that Lorne operated on the same level as a 13-year-old. Dustin kind of only does it for perversion, for totally 100% for perverted reasons. It's not always the case, I don't think. Pain and pleasure are sometimes the same. It's kind of interesting. I mean, we could look at that a bit more as well, but how you mean? I'd have to show you. Yeah, I mean, he's into all that, isn't he? Are you ready for me to come in you? What do you mean? Are you ready for me to put my... You see, for him to mention that word, it adds another level of depravity onto it. That, it's probably the part of the Lornography Chatlog that freaked me out the most, is when Lorne's babbling on about the white stuff coming out and things like that. It just seems totally like, to someone of that age, and for him to say, to mention that word, sperm, rather than, you know, I don't know. It adds another layer of the depraved, you know, of the depravity onto it. If you ask me, don't want to get pregnant. You don't want to have my baby. No offense, Dustin, but he would. And we can get you the morning after pill. What's that? You take it after a wild night of partying and sex, and it will kill any chance of kill. That's. I don't like. I mean, you kill any chance. I don't like the way he's using that word. His language is obviously important, isn't it? Because it's what's coming right from him, and just for him to sort of say that in that context, kill any chance of having a baby. It's like such a disrespectful way of justifying. God, it's getting a bit much this now. That BK then, you gonna let me you up the arse? No, it won't. I mean, he's really like, he's really getting into. Do you know when I said I fancied a bit of something dark? I'm kind of regretting that decision now. And I'm, you know, when you're alone, you want. Right, I'm gonna have to end it here, guys. I apologise for not being able to stick it out, but you know, sometimes it's just too much. I think it's kind of one of the reasons initially I didn't want to go into this, and there's some chats that are worse than this on the Perverted Justice website. Is it like Fleet Captain? It's the top one. It's just sickening. I think if you read that and a part of you doesn't feel sick, there's something a little bit wrong. And that's why, like, you know, it'd be very easy to entitle a video the most disgusting chatlog ever, and I'd probably pick up loads more subscribers and likes and all that, but who gives a shit? I'd sooner not bother, you know. But Dustin is someone that is important to the show and is an intriguing character. I don't like use that word because it sounds intriguing as if it's like a positive thing. Interesting is probably better. But I've had a good stab at it. I probably will continue. I'll tell you what, let me just go a few more minutes. I'm starting to pick up a bit now. How often a day do you think of us having sex? A lil. How often? Don't know. Never count. Do you like it? What? Thinking about us sexually? Yeah, sometimes. Told you. Would it be really bad for me? What you mean? Would you do something really weird? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't know what this bit is. Don't know. Send me a pair of your panties in regular mail. Don't have your addy. Can you get a Ziploc bag, a thick envelope and 2 stamps? Yeah, probably without them knowing it. Is it too weird? Yeah, a little. He knows it's weird, otherwise why would he say that? You know, he knows he's a bit fucked up himself. Yeah, a little. I just want something personal of yours that smells of you. Well, that's not quite. Well, why don't you ask for a bracelet then? Just. Oh, I can try. Pick a pair you want me to have and wear them for 2 or 3 days straight. For reals? Yeah. That's the bit from the show, isn't it? I mean, what can you say about that? You know, for him, I don't. The problem is, I'm getting images in my mind now of what he'd do when he got them in the mail, and it's pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. Doesn't even bear thinking about. Right, I've done enough. That's me done for the time being, guys. I apologise for my voice not sounding the best and a bit weary. I've got through as much as I can for the time being. Just let me know if you've enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon.